Okay, we are here. Episode 1 of Good Yawning with Oliver Greaves. Wow, I've literally just come out the shower, loaded up the program and pressed record because I do so much thinking, so much planning, and not enough action. So, this is me taking action on an idea that should have been kicked off years ago. And I'm learning. I'm learning to not overthink, to not overproduce, because yes, I can be a perfectionist. And I was going to say I am a perfectionist, but I'm trying not to claim that title because I feel it's holding me back, and I'm trying to move away from being a perfectionist and more of just a doer. I know the potential inside of me. I often feel like I should be further than I am in life, in many areas of life. And the reality is, I am meant to be exactly where I am right now. And if I choose to propel further, then it's for me to take the action and also apply that faith and have that vision in mind that it will happen. I could dwell on the past and look at what I've been through, and allow it to be a prison of where I stay and continue to stay. But I know daily, daily, when I wake up, I am motivated to be a better person. So when I post Good Yawning, the element of goodness is there, it's primary. Yawning is tiredness. But we fight through it, blood. Yeah, we might not have the 8 hours sleep, we might not have everything right, but we fight through it and we go on with it. Yeah. So that's why I say good yawning, star. Yeah. And that's what I'm going to continue to say rather. So yeah, this is just the first episode where I'm just going to continue to talk. I might even label it as rambling because some will be structured and some won't be. Some will just be off the cuff. I'm blessed with the means, and I thank God I'm blessed with the means to create. I've worked hard to invest in myself and have the kit, so there's no excuse. Like before, there was like, oh, I need this, I need that. Man's got the things to create. Now I just need to create and get on with it. And this is me speaking to myself, but hopefully I'm speaking to someone else. I'm connecting with others who are in a similar position. Yeah? Because even if you just got your phone, a smartphone, not everyone's blessed with a smartphone, but if you are, you can use that tool to create this the same way. You might have noise in the background, you might have kids. Do you know what I'm saying? But sorry, kids making noise and running around and trying to get your attention to do other things. You might have a whole heap of madness going on in your background, but ultimately, if you have one tool to create something that you have a vision for creating, just do it, man. Just do it and then put it out there. I was scrolling through my Instagram page today. For full transparency, I've just been a bit agitated with slow growth online. And I know it's not real life, but ultimately it is part of life, and it is something to think about for the future as well, because I do believe it's important to have an online presence and for that presence to be a good one too. But ultimately, I never want it to outweigh the reality of real life, of the wealth, of family, of loved ones, of friendship and, you know, relationships that you have in our real life. Yeah. But ultimately, for business growth, for personal growth, social media is a big part of it. There's several times where I felt like I just want to go offline for like a year and then work on my business. But I have an online business, so I've got to be online. Do you know what I'm saying? It would be nonsensical of me to deny an element of personal growth online whilst just focusing on my business growth, because I still need to be present and know what's going on. Do I need to? Maybe not need. Maybe need is a strong word, but it would be an advantage to be very aware of what's happening in the space that I'm working in. I work in a digital space. Do you know what I'm saying? So ultimately, like, my 9 to 5 is in that space. It's important for me to be aware of what's going on. Yeah. So in doing that, I was scrolling, even thinking about changing my username, looking at it, like changing it to either my full name or having Oliver with like 5 R's at the end, and, you know, thinking, oh, it's not good enough as to what it is, but just agitated to change. Do you know what I'm saying? I was scrolling, thinking, and just writing for time, hours. What could I change? And I thought, you know what? I don't even need to change it, blood. It's all right. And what's important is that for me, I've got O Greaves X, yeah, and it's across the same, like, all platforms. Because if I wanted to do Oliver Greaves, it's taken on many platforms. I would have to add an X or a number or an underscore, and it's just uneven. Where I'm like, do you know, I'm actually prioritizing just the neatness of O Greaves X, and then when you search that, that's me. That's what comes up. Anyway, I'm scrolling. I digress. Like, scrolling through my page and just seeing old stories and old posts and seeing how active I was, and, you know, like, releasing content, yeah. And because at the time I felt like the effort that I put in to make this content, and it's not reaching the masses that I'm expecting it to reach, I just gave up. I just threw the towel in. And it's had a knock-on effect, because I feel like the effort that I put in is not outweighing the like, it's not balanced. Basically, the performance of the content that I'm making, the hours that goes into creating and the designing and this and that, for it to only get X amount of likes or shares or comments, it's like, it don't make sense. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not even gonna do it at all. But then I'm seeing other pages doing not as much in terms of the style and whatever, but they're just being consistent with what they are doing, and that growth is going that way. And it's just consistency. It's putting out content regularly. It might not be perfect, it might not be the best, but having that presence and practicing and learning and this, that, and rare. So ultimately, I need to learn not to look at the metrics and allow it to affect, like, my emotional state. And it's a process, and I think all of us have to kind of face that at some point, and just realize and think about the real reason as to why, or even chip away at the real reason as to why you create what you create. Is it for numbers? Is it for money? Is it to actually make a difference? Is it to share your thoughts? Is it to change the world? Is it to uplift? Yeah, because we'll talk about Uplift another day. That's another platform which kind of spiraled onto me making this podcast that you're hearing today. But yeah, good yawning, Star. Good yawning. I don't know how regular this is going to be, but this will be in this format. It's almost going to be like an audio diary of Oliver Greaves. And I was going to label it as a motivational peace. But I think even doing that is putting pressure on myself to ensure that this does what it says on the tin. And I can't force that. I can't force motivation to another person. I can speak and share my thing, and if you are motivated, then great, mission accomplished. But I can't tell you that this is made to motivate you. I can tell you that, but maybe I shouldn't, because that might not be true. You might be thinking this like, oh, this is a whole heap of waste of time, you know. You might not get anything from this. So that's why I feel like just loosening it a little bit, pause, and just allowing it to be what it is. And it's ultimately like an audio diary. No, I'm not going to tell you every single thing of my day and all my private details, but ultimately I'm letting you in on my mindset and process and way of thinking. And it's good for me as well to express that. So it's almost like a dual exchange, you get me? What I love about what Stephen Bartlett has done, another successful black man, from the UK, highly respect him, and I've got time for him. In terms of his content, if man wanna holla. Big up Stephen. Anyway, I love what he does, and it's genius because he is creating content, sitting with amazing people, having that one-to-one connection, conversation, learning so much, developing and sharing it with the world as well, monetizing, creating that exchange. It's a transaction, but ultimately he is also building his personal connection as well. So when he needs something or wants something or wants to get people involved, he's got 500 plus A1 people in his phone book, bro, and he's making money and he's making content and he's putting his name out there. Brilliant. I love it. I don't know how we got there, but I love it. And this is what the majority of these shows, these episodes might be, because I ain't got no script in front of me. And that's another thing that's been a barrier for me even making this, because I'm feeling like I need to have a script, I need to have an order, I need to have this, I need to have that in place, and I don't have time. So am I gonna do it? No, literally, I'm sitting in my towel, ain't even cream my body yet, not even brush my teeth. Sorry, Brett all stinking in the mouth and that, the mic. Just talking and getting the idea down. And if you ask me what success is to me, it's bringing an idea to life. Something that's just an idea, a spark in the brain, in the mind of a human, and it actually coming to fruition in real life. Like, this is an idea, but you are hearing it. It's uploaded, it's shared, it's out there. I think that's incredible. And that's something that I take joy in and take pride in. And for whatever reason, some point down the line, I've let numbers affect the consistency of my work, of my ideas, of my creations. I've even gone to the extent of making things that I personally believe would have been monumental. And because I felt like, you know what, it's probably not going to do online, I've just had it sitting there. I've done this with so many projects, so many. And it's frustrating. And I feel like as a human as well, we're fascinated by storytelling, and I've started these stories and I've not finished them. And because I've got so many that I've started and not finished, I'm getting to the point where I don't want to take on or start any new project, because I feel like I'm dragging these old ideas with me. And I have to face reality that not all of them need to be completed. And some of them just trash, throw it in the trash, scrunch it up and get rid of it in order for me to move on. But then there's some where I'm like, you know what, that actually might have some legs, no one's actually doing this. So yeah, this is definitely a time of navigation, a time of awakening for me in my personal life. Um, we'll talk about it another day, but I've had such a massive void in my life, I would say, for the last 4 years that I'm searching to be filled. And it's taken its toll on me. Do you know what I'm saying? I've not allowed it to affect the majority of my life, especially my professional life. But my personal life, my creative life, outside of that, it's taken a hit. It's taken a hit. And I'll be lying if I said it didn't. But I'm a fighter. Yeah? And the wickedest thing is as well, and what gives me peace, because I explained to a few people like what man's gone through and still dealing with today. And they're like, nah, man. Like, and the way you're saying it so calmly, I would be angry and this, and I'm like, I know. And I've dealt with the anger, and the anger is probably still a bit, there, like a crouching lion ready to pounce, yeah? But I already know that I'm victorious. I already know that things are going to be alright on the other end. I already know I'm a winner. I already know. So it's just like that peace that surpasses our understanding is surrounding me daily. Yes, there's times where it can slip and anger and you start to feel low and this and that. Yes, that's natural, human, we're flesh. But that spirit, connected to God, that faith, that oneness, that unity, that awareness that God has you, that God is in control, that God loves you. It just can change the whole game. It flips the script. It's amazing, and I hold on to that. And it gives me comfort, it gives me peace. There's times where financially I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen. But God makes a way. He's never let me down. And he never will. And that gives me peace. You can hear my belly rumbling. Man's hungry. Yeah? Man, I had no breakfast, bruv. Yeah? Man's got a couple things in the fridge and a freezer. I'm going to cook up and chef up something random. Yeah? But I know that even starting this, getting it out there, is what I'm supposed to be doing. And the longer that I don't do it, is the more disobedient I am to that thing telling me that I should be doing it. I thought about making this into a video and this and that. And I know that if I do that, it's going to be a barrier because I want my hair to look right. I want my face to, I need to make sure that my thing's iron and nothing in the background and this, that. And like, more time is just get it out there in the format that it's meant to be in. If this is meant to stay audio, then it's going to stay audio. Yeah. And one day we might have video. One day we might have a guest. One day this might be live. One day this might be in a book format. It might be in an audio book format. You might be able to download recordings and sessions and all of that. Like, all of that is in the pipeline. I'm sorting out a website. But even that, it's like there's another barrier for, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I think this is enough for episode 1. I will chisel away and work out what day this is supposed to go up, how often I should do this, and yeah, we'll go from there. But this has been episode 1 of Good Yawning. with Oliver Greaves. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonates with you somehow. And I believe you can leave comments on Spotify now. So please do leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And yeah, if there's anything you want me to cover or discuss or talk on, let me know, man. Let me know. All right? Peace and love.